Good morning and welcome to Rational Thinking. My name's Sam, and this week we'll be taking a look at the following. A mixed week in the polls, which caused some sterling volatility, and an update on the US-China trade war. First up, we'll be taking a look at a mixed week in the polls. The pound started the week on the front foot as the latest opinion polls indicated the Conservative Party had extended their lead over Labour. The news was greeted by investors as the pound to US dollar rate raced to 129 and the pound to euro rate raced to its best level in 2 years to 117.63. As quickly as the rate appreciated, the pound was back under pressure on Tuesday, as another poll released by Kantar showed Labour closing the gap on the Conservatives and narrowing its lead from 18 points to 11 points. This was significant for the pound as the rate fell by 0.5% against the euro and the US dollar. On Thursday, a poll released by YouGov showed that the Conservatives had regained their majority against the Labour Party and see the pound finish the week on the front foot. Next up, we'll be taking a look at how these polls are affecting this pound. As you can see from last week's events, the economic data has taken a back seat, and the main driver for the pound going into this week will be the outcomes in the opinion polls. Anything to suggest the Conservatives are extending their lead is likely to be very positive for the pound, as it raises the chances of Boris getting his deal through Parliament. Anything to suggest that Labour are narrowing the gap on the Conservatives is likely to be sterling negative. This is because it raises the chances of a hung Parliament and additional uncertainty going into 2020 and Brexit. Next up, we're looking at the US dollar and an update on the US-China trade war. The US and China seemingly went a step closer to concluding the phase one of their trade deal last week. The Chinese Commerce Ministry stated that a telephone discussion was held between Liu He and Robert Lighthizer, where both had announced that they had reached a consensus on how to resolve related issues. This was echoed by President Donald Trump, who stated the US and China are in the final throes of reaching a trade deal. Finally, we'll be taking a look at the economic data going into this week. Taking a look at the pound, we have manufacturing PMI out on Monday. The main mover will be the opinion polls, as we saw last week. Taking a look at the euro, we've got GDP data and retail sales out on Thursday. And looking at the US have manufacturing data, market services data, and unemployment data and non-farm payrolls out on Friday. Thank you for listening to this week's Rational Thinking. Don't forget, if you do have any currency requirements, please feel free to get in touch. We'll be more than happy to assist.